I've been better places. The is Roof Chris. I said, that shit don't impress me. He's gonna throw it in my face. He like, I take you on a 5-star restaurant date and you being ungrateful. So this is what he do. He said, what would you do? He looked at me. He said, what would you do if I asked you to get out of my car and walk home? I said, I started laughing. I said, you wouldn't do that. And I'm laughing. I'm smiling because it's just so crazy that this is happening. I said, so at this point, I'm not smiling anymore. I said, so you for real? You gonna ask me to get your car and get a ride home and leave? Like, you're gonna leave me at this gas station? Almost, I'm basically at the car, but I'm running to get inside of the car, to get inside of the car, because he was gonna pull off on me. So I'm like,
girl, you bad and you nasty. 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 Girl, you know you both know you nasty. Love it when you talk to me nasty. Do that little walk when you pass me. Only time you calls when you're nasty. Girl, you bad and you nasty.
hey Backianas, I know I went MIA for a little bit. Coming back here with a story time. I had to tell this story. I wanted to tell this story the day that it happened, that I was so irritated, and I was just like, you know what? Sometimes you just be like, I don't even want to talk about it. But now I want to talk about it. Today, as you can read by the title, I don't know what I'm going to title it, but it's basically my worst date experience ever. Like the worst day I've ever been on. Let me start from the beginning. So, the person that I went on the date with was a boy that I knew back in high school. I knew him my 10th grade year, which is my sophomore year of high school. And we knew each other. Like, we spoke, we talked, we knew the same people. We were basically like friends, but we didn't always talk for real. I didn't talk to boys at all because I had a boyfriend. So it was like, I never got a chance to really notice other than this, because I didn't want to. Like, I didn't really care to notice other dudes because I had a boyfriend. But they noticed me. We had the same friends and we knew each other, whatever. We had like 2 classes together. You know, years go by. This year he slid in my DMs, and the type of dude that I knew him to be back when I was in high school, he was cool. I just know him to be like a cool person, a good guy, whatever, from what I knew and what I remembered. So he slid in my DMs one day. He was just like, because I had made a post, and the post was about these lame, you know, these lame ickas. You know, because they be lame and they just always on BS. So I just made a post like saying something like that. And he responds saying, you need to stop effing with these lames and give me a chance. So I'm like, I left him on red. And then he, I think like a couple days later, he asked for my number, or if not the same day, he asked for my number. But long story short, I left him on red. And then a week later, I decided to DM him. I'm like, I'll give you my number. Like, I just gave him my number because we had already known each other. Like, it's not nobody I don't know. I've been knowing him for years. He called me a week later, and we started catching up. We started talking about high school. We laughing. He had cancer like me, and he just real sweet. He laid back. Like, he just like, and what I noticed is that he drank a lot. He drank a lot and he smoked a lot. So, which I don't judge. Like, he grown, he smoking, he drink, whatever. He got his own place, he got his shit together. So I'm not about to judge him for what he doing. It's like, it's not doing nothing for me that he's smoking and drinking. It's like, that's not a problem for me, because at that point I wasn't thinking about being with him. So it's just like, alright, I don't judge you for smoking and drinking. Even if it's somebody I'm interested in, I'm not gonna judge them for a struggle that they have. Like, we all got to go through. But when we was on the phone, like, we was talking, like, we was talking all night. We was laughing and joking. You know, after a while, I started to get attracted to him, because it's the vibe for me. You know, the vibe over the phone was just like, okay, he got a good vibe. Like, he joking, he being a little aggressive, just a little bit aggressive, cute, like I like, just a little bit, not like disrespectful or anything. He's upfront, you know, like having great conversation, like deep conversation. He's being supportive of my business. He's like, I give you money towards whatever you want to do, like whatever, because you know, at the time I was making swimsuits, so he was just like, you know, I could just drop a bag for you or whatever, and I can get that for you, because I knew that's the type of guy he was, but that's not what made me interested in him. But that adds on, because I want to that can invest in me. If I'm investing my time in you and I'm giving you ideas for your business, invest in me. So give me either money or ideas, or help me network with other people that you know that you put me on. So I'm like, well, I almost said his name. I'm gonna call him Nardo. I'm gonna call him Nardo. So I'm like, Nardo, you know, it's been about a month by now, damn near. You need to take me on a date. Like, you need to take me out on a date. That's a red flag right there, ladies, right there. You should not have to tell a man to take you out on a date. That should be the first week. That should be the first 2 weeks or whatever, however long you know him. If you know him for a long time, that should be like the first couple of days. But if you just know him, first couple weeks, first 1 to 2 weeks talking on the phone, and then that's when he should plan to go out. But I've known him since 10th grade. This has been over 5 years. I've known you. I don't even think he asked me where I wanted to go. He just had it already planned. He was like, all right, I'm gonna take you out to eat, whatever, and I'm gonna take you here, and we're gonna go there and do this and that. And that's good. I didn't have to tell him what I wanted to do. That's another thing. You shouldn't have to tell a man what you want to do on the date when he asked you out. Being that I told him to take me out, I could have told him what I wanted to do, but even though he should have just told me like, hey, I'm taking you on a date, instead of me telling him. That night that I told him like, hey, let's go, whatever. The night he said, okay, let's go out tomorrow. And I'm just like, okay, let me go out tomorrow, whatever. He was just like, don't stand me up, you know, I'm gonna be ready. I'm about to make reservations for the restaurant or whatever. And I'm just like, I'm down. I'm ready, like, you know, I'm cool. Let's do it, let's go, whatever. Next morning comes, right? So he calls me that morning, just making sure I'm getting ready. We having a good conversation over the phone. Now pay attention to how this phone call went. So he called me the morning of us going out to eat or our date, right? So we talking about regular stuff, like how did your day go? He asked me how my day go, asked him how his day was going by the time. So it's like around 1 o'clock. And our day hasn't even started. I'm still getting ready. So we telling each other, hey, we getting ready. He running errands for his brother. He just went to the mall and did whatever, this and that. So I'm telling him like, hey, you know, I ain't do nothing. You know, we laughing and joking. Let me tell you, like, keep in mind, we had great chemistry over the phone. Like, he was laughing, joking, making me, like, I'm telling you, like, chemistry on 10 over the phone. So I'm like, yeah, you know. So I'm like, he even calling me while I'm getting ready. He just can't wait to see me. You know, I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, he cannot wait to see me. Cool. Okay, cool. All right, no, I'm about to go ahead and I'm about to get ready. And, you know, I see you at 5 because reservation was at 5:30 or 5:30 or 5:40 or something like that. So he told me to be ready by 5 o'clock on the dot. So I'm getting ready. Bam, I'm ready. I got my things ready. Got this and that, you know, ready to go. I'm cute. Before he pulled up, right, something told me, and this usually does not happen, because I don't go on dates with guys I don't know for real. I only did once, well, maybe twice. I've known him since 10th grade, right? Something told me in my head, take money if you gotta catch, cause he's coming to pick me up. Make sure you got money on your Lyft account. Something in my head told me that. When anytime something tells you to do something before you go, like when y'all about to go somewhere, take y'all time and really listen to your mind before you go out. Listen to your intuition. Listen to God, because he is trying to tell you something. So I walk out to the car. First thing I noticed was a red flag. He didn't open the door for me. Like, he was parked. First of all, he was parked in the driveway. Kind of, like, not in the driveway, but blocking the driveway. And I think it was like water, like a puddle of water that I had to walk over. That was a red flag, because it's just like, so in my head, I'm just like, that annoys me. I'm not gonna lie, that does annoy me. So whatever, I get in the car. I'm like, hey, Nardo, what's up? He rolling up. He like, what up? Like he's literally like, what up? And I'm just like, okay. Like, okay, cool. So before I can even put my red flag number 2, before I can even put my seatbelt on, he drives off. Like he's driving off before I can even put my seatbelt on. Okay, right. So he needs to stop at the gas station to get gas in the Rello, whatever he smoke, whatever. Look, he needs some shit for some weed. So a wood. He need a wood. I said a Rello. He need a wood, right? So we go to the gas station. On the way to the gas station, he's driving fast. Oh, and on the way to the gas station too, guess what? He's smoking. He's smoking. I live in a neighborhood where it's like police like everywhere. So he didn't open the door for me. That's red flag number 1. Red flag number 2, he barely spoke to me when I got into the car. Red flag number 3, he was driving fast. And red flag number 4, he was smoking while he was driving. We get to the gas station, right? He gets out the car. He didn't even ask if I wanted anything from the gas station. So I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, dog. On the way to the gas station, he wasn't talking to me. He didn't even ask me, like I said, he didn't ask me what I want from out the store or whatever. So I'm like, okay. I think we're in red flag number 5, right? So 3 strikes should have been out. I should have asked him to take me home when he was already driving with weed on him. That's a red flag. It's stupid, right? So he comes out because I think he forgot something about his money or something. So he come out to the car and I'm like, hey, can you give me a water? So he goes back in, he gets me a water. We're back into the car. He's rolling up. He's rolling up some whatever, because he's about to smoke. So we leaving. We on the way to get out to go out to eat. And I'm gonna tell y'all where we got to eat when we get there. On the way to the reservations, he's driving fast. Like when I tell you, he was going fast. He was driving so fast. He was driving so fast. I'm telling you. He was driving way too fast. And I'm in a car like, I didn't want to ask him to slow down because it's just like, I can just, the vibe is like he already irritated. I'm already in the car with this. Like, just telling this story, I just feel so funny. We get to the place. We get to the Roof Chris, because that's where he took me out to eat, Roof Chris. We get to Roof Chris. He gets out the car. Red flag number 6. He's walking ahead of me. He's not even walking beside me. He's walking ahead of me. So I do say something about that. I said, hold, slow down, bro. You're walking in front of me. First of all, this is shorter than me because what my heels on. We're probably the same height. I had on like a 4-inch heel, so I'm taller than him. So he probably already feeling like insecure or bad about the fact that I'm looking good already. Is enough of this is. He like, all right, my bad. Like, why should I have to tell you to walk on the side? That is just, it's crazy. So we get inside the place, Roof Chris. We get to our table, right? We sit down, and as soon as we sit down, he looking at me, and I'm like, hey. He like, hey, and he gets on his phone, right? He like on his phone. And he got dreads. I forgot to mention he had dreads. I can't even see his face. So he like real slouched down. His posture is terrible. And he not even talking to me. He not even saying nothing to me. So I'm just like, so I'm about to start a conversation at this point. I'm like, so how did your day go? And he was like, I mean, it was straight, whatever. And gets back on his phone. And I'm like, okay. I said, go into detail. Like, what did you do? This what the said. He was like, I mean, we already talked on the phone earlier. I mean, I already told you what I did. I already told you what I was doing earlier. And I said, excuse me? First of all, he talking low. So I can't really hear him. I don't know if I heard him right. So this is what I did. I said, can you come sit by me? Because I can't hear what you said. What did you say? You're talking too low. I cannot hear you. He comes around to my side of the table. Keep in mind, on the phone he was talking all that shit like, oh, I do this to you and I do that to you. I lay it down to you. I lay it down, whatever. Because we talking freaky. We grown as fuck. So what? We talked freaky on one point at a time on the phone. So keep in mind, he had all this energy on the phone, right? So it comes to next to me. He like, what up? Like, so what did you say that you did today? What did you just say over there? He was like, oh yeah, I told you like earlier we had talked. And I told you what I did already, you know. I told you my brother, I had took my brother to the mall and shit like that. This how you talk. I told you what I did, you know. I picked my brother up and like that. And I'm like, okay. So he goes, can I go back to my other side of the table? Because we had a booth. So he like, can I go back to my other side of the table? I said, do what you want, Nando. Do what you want. I'm like, do what you want. So he goes on the other side of the table. I'm just like, okay. So I'm getting irritated. I'm already irritated. I'm getting even more irritated. So I'm like, all right, this bad attitude. I'm thinking in my head, you got a bad ass attitude, right? So I'm getting to the point of saying, we're on a date and it's like, you're not talking. You're not saying anything. He goes, I mean, I'm not even that. He was like, I'm usually more of myself when I'm drunk. You know, I'm high. I'm just chilling. You know, I don't really feel like talking right now. I'm high. He wasn't even that high. He wasn't even that high. He didn't even finish the whole wood. He like, you know, I'm high. You know, chilling. You know, he wasn't drunk. He wasn't even high for real. He just had a bad attitude. So he was just like, I said, so you asked me. I said, this is what I said. I said, you asked me to go on a date with you. And you're not making conversation. I said, is there a problem? It's like I was like, the energy that you had was different over the phone. He said, I didn't ask you on a date. You told me to take you on a date. I said, if you didn't want to take me out, why did you take me out today? I said, if you had something to do, you didn't want to do this, you could have said that from jump. But you had this different energy over the phone. So I'm not understanding. I said, if you didn't want to come out, you didn't have to. I don't know what's up with this attitude. Like, what's good? Like, you don't want to talk? This is what people do on a date. Have you ever been on a date? Are you nervous around me? Because I do get that a lot. Dudes are really nervous around me. That's why they avoid me. They talk all this shit. And then when the time comes, they avoid me. So I'm used to it. So is it that? That's exactly how I was talking to him, right? He goes, see, honey, you pretty and all, but I had bad bitches before. I mean, it ain't no big deal. Why would I be nervous around you? I said, because, well, you're acting weird. Like he was being low-key rude. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not about to keep making a try to talk to me. I'm about to order my food and I'm going to eat. I'm going to order my food. So the waitress comes, right? He orders a drink. Red flag number 7. No, red flag number 8. Because number 7 was he was not talking. The red flag number 8 is that he didn't offer me a drink. He didn't ask he didn't ask what I wanted to drink. Even though I should have told the waitress, like, this is what I want to drink. I wasn't even thinking about drinking. At that point, I wasn't going to drink on this date. If a date is going bad, don't drink to suppress it and deal with it. No, stay sober. Because at that point, I'm like, I don't want to get drunk with you. I already don't like getting drunk in person with people on a date. Like, I mean, out in public. I don't really like getting drunk out in public, so I didn't get a drink. Then we ended up ordering our food. So this is what he said. He said, I'm not really talking for real because I'm hungry. I haven't dated all day. I'm kind of irritated. I'm hungry, you know, and I'm not drunk, so, you know. And he talking with his head down. So I'm like, all right, this nigga hungry. You know, niggas get irritated and upset when they're hungry and had nothing to eat, right? So I'm like, okay. You know, he gonna start talking a little bit more when the food come. I guess. I don't really care. The food comes. This got the nerve enough to look up and say, so you on your phone texting, huh? He said, so you really gonna be texting right now? You really gonna be texting right now? I said, what else am I gonna do? I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna eat my food and I'm gonna text and I'm gonna check my DMs. And he said, oh, so you checking DMs? I said, oh yeah, for sure. I'm checking DMs, seeing if there's anything relevant for me to check. He like, alright, alright, alright. I'm just like, okay. I'm like, you're not talking to me anyway, so I was like, you know. So I'm still talking to Levi. Levi making me laugh. Levi told me, he said, get up and leave right now. I couldn't leave at that moment because my bag was in a car. So I'm just sitting here sticking it out. I'm like, no, this nigga's gonna take me home. He's gonna take me home. I should have left, but I'm like, no, he gonna take me home. So the way that his attitude was, what if I had asked him to, like, okay, let me see your keys, get my bag out the car, or he got the keys and he just left me and took my bag, whatever. I don't know. So I was just like, no, I'm gonna stick it out and I'm gonna leave with him. I'm gonna stick it out, this date out, and I'm waiting to leave. So I ate my food. As I'm eating my food, he's still not talking to me. And then, like I said, in and out, he was checking me about texting on my phone. And I'm just like, well, you're not talking to me anyway, so I'm gonna check my DMs. And I'm laughing in his face as if I'm texting him in his face, which I am, but Levi is not nobody that I talk to in that type of way. He's my twin. So, like, he getting attitude. So I'm like, okay. He like, so what you want to do after this? He asked me, like, what you want to do after this? I said, I want to go home. I said, I'm gonna need you to take me home. He like, oh, really? Oh, for real? I thought you was gonna go downtown and get a room or do whatever you want to do. I said, no, I want to go home. So he like, all right, let me get the bill. So he gets the bill and he puts the money on, like, he just throw the money on the table and he starts walking off before I even could, like, get my bag of food to leave with him. So he's walking ahead of me already, because guess what? He has an attitude at this point. He's very, like, he was really weird with his attitude. Like, he knew he had an attitude, but he pretended like he didn't. So we get to the car. This is the funny part. We approaching his car, right? So I got on heels, you know, the heels. So I'm not heels, but like thigh-high boots. As he's getting to his car and open up his door, like I'm basically at the car, but I'm running to get inside of the car, because I thought he was gonna pull off on me. So I'm like, so I hurried up and got in the car, and I hurried up and got in the car because I thought he was gonna pull off on me. So, bro, so he pulled off. We on the way to my house. He's driving even faster than he was driving before. At this point, he's driving crazy. The whole time I was in the car, I was praying, like, God, just please get me home safe. Please get me home safe. Please get me home safe. I was in such shock at that very moment. Y'all probably asking me, why didn't you tell him to get you a lift? Why didn't you get a lift? Why didn't you leave? Why didn't this? Why didn't that? Why are you still in the car with him? In that moment, I was so in shock and wow, like, so crazy, and it blows my mind. He looks at me, he said, so why you want to go home so early? Why do I want to go home? I said, Nardo, I said, you can't be serious, bro. I said, you can't be serious right now, right? Are you serious? He like, wait, what? Why you asking me? Like, I mean, what's your problem? Why you want to go? I said, this is literally the worst day I've ever been on in my life. This shit is so funny. Guess what he goes to ask me? He said, you gonna make a YouTube video about it? I said, you right. I'm gonna make a YouTube video about it. I said, you are just unbelievable. I said, you are weird. You act nervous around me. I said, you didn't even keep it the same energy. I said, bro, we was on the phone. It was a whole different energy. And now when you're in person, you're not talking. He said, this was his defense. We talked early. First of all, he not even talking fast like how I am and loud. He was just like, we talked earlier on the phone and I told you what I did. It wasn't much to talk about. I said, when you're on a date, you have conversation. Even if it wasn't about the day, that you make conversation. Like, I said, have you ever been out on a date with anybody? He like, bro, I get bad all the time. Also, at this point, I really don't give a fuck. You fuck with those lame. He's gonna throw it in my face. He like, I take you on a 5-star restaurant date and you being ungrateful. I said, first of all, the lights were dim. Couldn't see you, couldn't hear you. The food was good, but nigga, I've been better places. The is roof Chris. I said, that shit don't impress me. I said, you with rat. I said, I look good. This is what I said. I said, I look good. He gonna look at me, he like, you alright? He like, I mean, I guess. I said, and you look good. I said, look what you got on, bro. I said, look what you got on. So being like, I'm arguing with him, and it's like he not even arguing with me. He just saying smart. He was just laughing. He was like, so this is what he do. He said, what would you do? He looked at me. He said, what would you do if I asked you to get out of my car and walk home? I said, I started laughing. I said, you wouldn't do that. And I'm laughing. I'm smiling because it's just so crazy that this is happening. I said, so at this point, I'm not smiling anymore. I said, so you for real? You gonna ask me to get out your car and get a ride home and leave? Like, you're gonna leave me at this gas station? I said, you know what I do? I'll call somebody to come pick me up. That's what it is. He like, oh no, I wasn't saying that. I didn't say, dude, get out of my car. I said, what would you do? So at this point, he's playing with my emotions, right? Because he was being an asshole at that point. He asked me, so you want to go downtown still? I said, when did I ever say I wanted to go downtown with you? When did I said, take me home, please, take me home. We leave the gas station. He driving crazy, swerving, he tailgating people. He's like, I'm telling you, he's driving so crazy. I already got anxiety in the car already. He driving crazy with me in the car. When I tell y'all, all I was looking at was the minutes it took for us to get back to my house. And we was only like 25 minutes away because he was driving fast. So it's like we got there quick as fuck. We got to my house quick as I'm packing my to get to leave. I'm taking my food to go because I'm gonna get something out of this dating, which is that good food. So I get out the car. I'm thinking because I got my bag in the back, I'm thinking he about to pull off before I get my bag. So I'm hurrying up get the fuck out the car. He got the nerve enough to ask me, I can't get a hug. I said, you fucking crazy. You crazy. No, you're not getting a hug. No, you joking, right? No. I get my bags. I get out the car. I close the door. Before I can even turn around, he pulls off. Like, as I'm walking, like, before, I didn't even get up to the step. I didn't even get up to the grass yet. Just pulls off as soon as I close the door. He pulled off. I get in the house. First thing I do, I tell my twin. My twin was already just like, why would you even put yourself through that? Like, he was just talking to me like, you don't deserve that. Like, he was pep talking me. He was being real, which I don't. Which it was a stupid decision, but I learned from it. I needed to go through that to learn from it. So I get in the house, and I'm baffled. I'm irritated. I thought I was gonna make a YouTube video about it, but I ended up going to sleep. When I woke up, first of all, I had my scarf on my head, and I woke up. A couple minutes later, he had Nando. He called me. He FaceTimed me. He like, so what you doing? You good? Like, just when he was FaceTiming me, I just couldn't believe. Like, I'm thinking he called and apologize because I knew he was gonna call me. I'm thinking he's calling to apologize. He calls me, and he act like nothing ever happened. He like, so what you doing tonight? Why you got an attitude with me? Like. But guess what? It was back to the energy that he would have on the phone. It's like he's vibrant. He's talking loud. He's doing this. He got the energy that originally that I thought he was going to come on a date with. I said, I gotta go. I just cannot sit here and explain to you what just happened today. You take me as a joke. I don't know if it's funny to you. So he goes, I'm drunk. I'm about to pull up to your house. I said, no, you're not. You're not coming to my house. Do not come to my house. Because he already had my address. I told him to come pick me up from my house. That was on me. I should have never gave him my address. Don't get on your address unless it's like an ex-boyfriend, you know, like a friend that you really, really, really trust. And because I knew him, I thought we was like, we good. So I was like, don't come to my house. Get off the phone. And he texted me. He said, you Instagram be something else. Y'all think y'all the shit. Y'all really ain't shit. right? So text me, and I said, first of all, with your little short midget funky looking at, I said you had on some basic, you weird, you're fucking weird. So I say you leprechaun. I say you leprechaun looking at. So we going back and forth, and he said, bitch, was like, he said, bitch, you need a better lace. He said I could get you that Brazilian shit, cause your hair look fucked up. And I was just like, wow, because I woke up. Where's my hair look fucked up? Like, that's not phasing me, right? I thought that was going to be the last I heard from him. After that, I didn't hear anything from him for a week or two, right? He calls my phone. I answer. Because I'm like, at that point, I had deleted his number. I should have blocked him. I didn't block him. He called me. I'm like, this number looked familiar as f. Who is this calling me? It was him. I'm like, what do you want? What do you want? Why are you calling me? He's talking about trying to do business with me because I do online marketing. I'm like, if it ain't about money, what do you want? Don't talk to me about it. After that, it was just like, yeah, this is it, you know. And learn from this story time. First of all, I don't deal with that. You know, I try to give people the benefit of the doubt. I can get any man I want. Trust me, I can get any man I want. But I wanted to give him a chance because, like I said, over the phone, it was a good vibe. It was very misleading. My whole case was just, it was very misleading. And I wanted to see if it was like, am I tripping right now? It's going to get better. And if it's not good the first time, if he doesn't open your car door for you, turn around and go back in the house and tell him to pull off, or go leave. If you're getting in his car, he's not opening your door, don't go on the with him. That's red flag number one. If you gotta tell him to walk on the different side of the street to protect you on the right side of the street, that's why should you have to tell him that? So I'm literally talking to myself and teaching myself these lessons as I'm talking, because I'm too good of a woman to deal with that. I'm too beautiful. I'm too talented. I'm too gifted to deal with that lame ass. If a is late picking you up 3 hours late, don't go. It's a red flag. Don't go. He's wasting your time. He's not telling you, hey, I'm gonna be late, and he's expecting you to just say, oh, I'm gonna be okay. You know, he not texting you, telling you what time you gonna be ready. 4 hours later, it's 9 o'clock or 10. He like, all right, come on, I'm on my way. Then he gets there by 11. Don't go, because you're setting a standard of, oh, she gonna go for whatever, and she gonna go forever time. So, because now he doesn't value you or your time. But with this dude, he was on time, but he was fucked up. So either way it goes, like, red flags, bro. Nobody got time for that. But this is what you have to deal with when you're getting older and you dating and like that. But I had to go through this experience to really teach myself